to you, open your mouth. Spread your legs. Clear. Let's go.
KAR-TS for life. You already know what it is, man. And if we can't, I'm gonna tell y'all, man, listen, today is a whole different vibe. We have my brother Premium Pete in the building. Premium Pete did almost 3 years in jail. Shot programs, all kind of shit. Been through all kind of shit in his life, you know what I'm saying? Just like everybody else. And he's here. Also, Premium Pete is the guy that put me on and showed me the ropes of how to interview people and put me into the game and gave me pointers and all that. You know what I'm saying? And he's my brother. He put me into the game. My first Dog in the Yard episodes and all that, that was all at Premium Pete Studio. And with all that being said, let's get right to it, man. My boy Premium Pete, man, my brother, man. Dog in the Yard, man. Let's get at him. What up, what up? You already know what it is. Your boy Pistol Pete. Welcome to Dog in the Yard. Once again, you already know we here. We got Premium Pete in the building. Premium Pete is my boy, man. Premium Pete is that guy that put me into this game, gave me the ropes and all that, how do you do this whole podcast thing and all that. And my first takes on Dog in the Yard was at his studio.
That's right, man. First of all, thank you for having me. Cool. Secondly, I'm proud of you that you're still going with it. I watch it, I love it. I love the message. I see a lot of people gravitate towards it, like meaning like, look, in this game of podcasting, there's so many people just, talking. Mm-hmm. But what are they saying?
Right.
You know what I mean? And I feel like focusing on, the things we did and coming home and staying home is one of the most important things in life. And just to see you flourishing, like, let me ask you, when you were, I'm over here making this thing my interview now. When you were locked down, did you ever think you'd be sitting in this studio fucking interviewing people?
Fuck no.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
never in my life.
And I think that's a beautiful thing. So, I'm proud of you.
Just know that I never got a chance to tell you appreciate you. I love you for that. You're my brother. You put me in the game. You showed me the ropes. You helped me out a lot at the beginning. Even how to interview, this, that, pistol, this, that. Premium Pete. So if you don't know about Premium Pete show, get in tune. You know what I'm saying?
Man. And then, one more thing I will say before we even get into it is that when me and you sat down, first of all, that interview we did is worldwide, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, a couple of things when you put the razor in the piece, you and it when a couple of things, people were like, crazy thing is wherever I'm at, sometimes people are like, a lot of the dudes, especially from the hood, like, I fuck with that Pistol Pete interviewer, and, he's a wild dude. And the crazy thing is, you came up there, shouts to Steve LaBelle, you know what I mean?
Shout out Steve LaBelle, my brother.
You came up to the studio the first time we ever met. Think about this, right? First time we met, Steve had put us on text. We have talked before, but the first time we met, we sat down almost 3 hours, like 2 hours and almost 3 hours. Mm-hmm. I didn't turn the video on and the mics on until the last hour, because I wanted to get a chance to know you, right? You know what I mean? I wanted to get a chance to talk to you, and it's what I'm saying is that's how special your story is, because we didn't tell the whole thing. And that's why you're here doing this.
Facts. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah,
Premium Pete. So what's up, Pete? Man, how you been?
Man, just, maintaining, man. Just trying to, I'm blessed. Like, when we think about, like, even just, like, I always honestly think about, like, I'm home almost 18 years, right? And I'm starting to feel more humble.
Right.
I'm starting to feel more blessed. I don't know what it is. I feel like I become like a big crier now because of my kids, because of things going on. Like, I was in London for work. Like, they brought me out there to do some different, like, producing and stuff like that. And I just felt like, and you coming from where you come from, like I look at it this way, like, I grew up in Brooklyn. Like, and at the end of the day, I say, like, I'm just a Brooklyn kid. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times I would just listen to people, like older people. I always grew up, like, but they never been off the block. And to be in London, or I've been to Japan because of my voice, like, I guess at the time I did it, it didn't hit me. And I just feel so humble. I feel so blessed. I feel like, yo, I remember being locked down. And honestly, and I'm sure you felt this way too, feeling like a fuck up, feeling like I can't get it right, feeling like the streets is I need the quick money. And feeling like I let a lot of people down, you know? And I think, like, I don't know, like, you know, families sometimes, they're not good at reassuring the change. Like, you know, for a while, my moms and pops used to be like, you know, hopefully you could change your life. I am. Like, you got to give somebody a chance to do that. So anyway, without going on a tangent, I just want to say that, you know, I'm at a point in my life where I'm just really humble and blessed. And I'm not where I fully want to be, but I'm thankful, right? I'm thankful that I've been involved in so many things for a kid that was away, right? You know, for a kid that's just from Brooklyn. Right?
Absolutely, that's right. More than what we will have if we would stay in the block and stay stuck.
Yeah, you know, and same for you. I'm saying that's inspiring, like your story, like, you know, in our story. That's why, like, I mean this. I'm not just saying this shit, and I'm not just here just to be here. I'm here because, like, I consider you a friend. I'm proud of you, and I'll be honest with you, this is the message I want to continue to deliver to kids like that. Yo, let me tell you something. If you outside right now hustling for Jordans and some gear, it's not worth it. Just be smart, man, and understand that there are so many ways. I'm gonna say this last thing, I'll give it back to you.
No, I got you.
When I was growing up, I had a paper route, okay? I bagged groceries at Wall Bombs. Anybody remembers Wall Bombs, right? And I remember trying to buy a Jordan. I'm just going to give an example. They were $99 at the time. Jordan 1s, $100. Like, yo, I could not get them. My father worked 3 jobs. So I put $38 in with my Wall Bombs and paper route. My aunt gave me 10. My grandmother gave me 20. So what I'm saying is it takes a village. But sometimes when we fuck up, when we go away, we think it's only about us. We don't realize we take them with us. My mother worried about me every fucking night.
Of course. Everybody does time.
I guess now I'm starting to realize that.
Everybody whoever loved you, they all did time with you. Because it was hard. My moms did time with me, my pops, they sent me $20 every other week.
And a letter, hopefully.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Hey, here you go again.
I don't know. Okay. I guess I'm just feeling really, you know, especially being dog in the yard, I'm just, you know, and really the message, I mean, hearing stories is always beautiful. I mean, people love hearing jail stories and stuff, but the message that you're delivering is truly important.
It's to stay your ass home and stay out of fucking trouble.
And there's so many things you can do. Like, you don't
so much shit.
Like, yo, there's so many things.
You can hustle sneakers. You know, my last interview, I was telling the guy, I said, you can hustle sneakers. Nowadays, you can hustle sneakers. It's bigger than selling anything else.
Yo, I see 13-year-old kids at like this event called Sneaker Con that my friend has, right? Check this out. They had Yeezys that they wore for 2 months and sold it for triple the amount that they bought it for. So kids are wearing them, flexing in them, then selling them for 3 times the profit. That's
hustling.
Right?
Whatever works for them. Better than being out there selling drugs and doing some other shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But with that being said, P, let's get right to it, man. So what's up, Pete? You was a kid from Brooklyn.
Yeah, I grew up.
Mom and pops in your life?
Mom and pops, yeah. So
siblings?
So I got 2 sisters, you know what I mean? And we eventually adopted a brother. My mother couldn't have kids anymore, and she wanted to give me a brother.
Okay.
So she became a foster parent at a young age. So we had and they did it out of the heart and love. You know, like we had sisters come in and stay with us for like 2-3 years, and we were a big family. Like, so you know we had kids, and I'll be honest with you, it was very hard to let a lot of those kids go. Like, you know, I got close to a couple of them. You know what I mean? And the crazy thing is, my mom still talks to them, sends them gifts. They marry with kids, and it's a real blessing. But yeah, my mom's a stay-at-home mom. She's a real soldier. And my pops, you know, he's a great man, but he worked 3 jobs. I never really seen him. So to be honest with you, that's another thing that led me to the streets and led me more so to, you know, I grew up in Coney Island. You know, at the time I grew up, then I moved to, actually, let me give the audience this. When I grew up in Coney Island until I was about 13 years old. When I moved into Bensonhurst, like at a time where, I'll be honest with you, it felt like it was a recruitment center for the mob. You know what I mean? I'm talking about 89, maybe 88, you know, and you know, I remember like dudes like even in there saying, you know, hey, Pete, you can't have these guys around here. And I'm like, what guys you talking about? because these guys are like friends. See, that's why I really appreciate, I didn't make my chops in Coney Island, but I appreciate growing up there because it diversified my mind. You know, I hung out with Spanish dudes, I hung out with Russian dudes, you know what I mean? I hung out with black dudes, I hung out with like so many different people. So when I got to Bensonhurst, man, let me get this, no Nelly, but it's getting hot up in here, you know? When I got to Bensonhurst, it was just a different shock at that time, you know? But anyway, Pops, he worked 3 jobs. So the point I make is I really didn't see him. You know, I've been able to like really establish a relationship with him later on in life. And I'm thankful for that.
Yeah,
but,
at least you was able to because he's here.
Yeah.
And all that, so you be able to build that.
Yeah, but family is, to be honest with you, family has been the backbone of my journey.
So at what age you started getting yourself in trouble and you got yourself in trouble?
13 years old, man. You know, I'll never forget, you know, just writing graffiti, you know, stealing cars. You know, I was into, you know, a lot of us used to hang out in Marlboro Projects at the time, and it was anybody who knows a dent pulley, you know, we used to, you know, just, you know, and screwdriver and just go for joyrides, you know, and I don't know, at one point in time, I don't know if people could understand this, but I feel like I could not learn how to stay out of trouble. Like it just found me. You know what I mean? Like I remember my mother used to be like, yeah, hanging out with the wrong kids. I used to be like, yo, I'm the wrong kid. Like nobody's influencing me. I enjoy, you know, kind of living on the edge, you know, and I don't know why at the time, but I guess maybe, you know, and this is why presence over presence is so big to me, something that I kind of created when I was in jail, because, you know, the best thing you could ever give your kid is your presence.
Facts.
You know, God bless the dead. I remember when me and Combat Jack, when I was on the Combat Jack show, we had Little Boozy on. And Little Boozy was like, oh, when I was away, you know, my kids had iPads and iPhones and MacBooks. I'm like, yeah, but they didn't have you. And he was like, yeah, you're right. That's why I always say presence over presence, because kids ain't can remember all the Matchbox cars you got them, or the dinosaurs. They may remember, oh yeah, I remember a dinosaur or two, but in 10 years from now, they remember you went to the movies every Friday.
Facts.
Or they remember like certain little things that you set up. And I guess I didn't have Pops there like that. And I guess I looked to the streets. You know, a lot of those Italian men and a lot of those gangster men and a lot of the kids from the hood, I really looked up to. And I was a younger kid that just hung out with older dudes too. So.
Well, you know, so at 13 you was starting to get in trouble. When you hit the big house, when you got into official, what was your official charge and when you went to prison?
Well, I went to a group home first. That was my first thing. I went to a group home. Then I had, remember TASC, Treatment Alternative Street Crime? I don't know if you remember that. So I got locked up with weed, and they're like, do you do it? Or do you sell it or you do it? Because if you sell it, you're going to jail. If you do it, I'll put you in a treatment program. I'm like, I do it. You know what I mean? Like, and I went to a treatment program, and literally, I don't know what it was. Like, I connected with mad people there, and I try to help a lot of people at a young age. That's why I'm so glad where I am at life now. And they offered me a job. Actually, I finished it. I was like the 3rd person to finish that treatment program. And I got an award. I'll never forget. I literally went up there. I said, I used to be arrested for what I'm doing. Now I'm being awarded. And they offered me a job, but at the time, with counselors and shouts of counselors worldwide, because a lot of their work is from the heart. You know, they don't got that big number. I don't know why. Right. You know what I mean? Like, it's like they taking on and helping people mentally and all their problems and stuff like that. And their salaries are so low. So, you know, but at that time I got offered a job in the city, and I had left and went on my life. And I would say there was different spurts at times, but I, you know, central booking was all the time, shoelaces out, you know what I mean? And bologna sandwiches we use as pillows, you know what I mean? And you know, it was humbling. Like, I'll be honest with you, I'd rather stay in a week in the box than go in a night in central booking. Like, cause I hate central booking. Like, it's just annoying of how much you have to deal with, you know? And
draining, dirty, people taking shits wide open, you know what I mean? Everybody taking the shit right there in front of you, in front of 40 guys. You know. Shit stinking up the whole place. Yeah, it's disgusting. They got all the people that's from the street also there. Yeah, and then they stinking.
And then you think, you know, that's another thing too. And I would love to know even your thoughts. You know, sometimes you think, like, you know, when you're in jail, you only have time to think. You know, and you think about what you want to do or how you want to handle things. But, you know, I don't know. I guess what I'm saying is I came home, I went back. I came home, I went back. I didn't catch my real charge until later on in life. And I think sometimes when you're out in the streets, you get hit for something that you never expect to get hit, and you get away with all these other things, you know what I'm saying? And you're like, damn. But I guess what I'm saying is when I knew that I was playing, and I knew what I was up against.
Right.
And eventually later on in life, you know, I had gotten in trouble, fixed my life around, came back home, then got into gambling. You know what I mean? It's like, how the fuck I just get out of all this other shit? And then I get like into gambling, get into debt. And really, that's another thing too. When I was away, I had told people, like because you know, you gotta go to ASAT or one of the counselor things. Right. I told people like, yo, I have a gambling problem. And they're like, nah, that's not really. I'm like, nah, that's for, I know people who lost their lives, homes. You know what I mean? Like, and the addiction of gambling is so bad because you're not trying to win money anymore. You're trying to get action. So the point I'm trying to make is I never forget, I had girls that were beautiful I was messing with. I lost by 2 points. I wasn't coming out. You know what I mean? I was like, my whole mind was fucked up. Yeah. And anyway, later, I'll tell you shortly after we keep on going, but then later on in life is when I got knocked and did 3 years when I was away.
What year, what age was that?
So that was in my, that was 27 years old, about 27 years old. 27 years old.
So what was the charge?
So I got caught with, you know, I was selling, so actually I tried to pay, look at how crazy this is. So having a gambling debt, I said to myself, you know, I didn't want to get back in the street, but my man had like a system set up, like, you know, the phones, the beeper type shit at the time. Right. More so phones at that time. And it was easier. You know, I could make a couple $1,000 a day, you know. And I said, I'll do it for a couple of days. I'll pay off my bill. But there's a word called greed. I didn't do it for a couple of days. I did it for a couple of months. And I got knocked. The crazy thing is, as I was going to pay the dude off that I owed, I got knocked with that fucking money.
With the money?
So now that it was with drugs too. So now they think it's drug money, which it was, but it was, you know what I mean? But it wasn't meant for that. And yeah, but I mean, the kid eventually got paid. So I got caught with intent to sell, you know, and possession and all that and stuff like that. And I already had got that before. So I was on probation. So I knew I was up against a problem. I have 5 years probation. This is something that still bothers me. 4 years, 6 months into it, I get knocked. So now you got violation of probation, and you got the same fucking charge.
Yeah.
And so they give me at the time, I don't even know if they do these anymore, 1.5 to 3. And because I know they do a lot of people have flats and different stuff. The crazy thing is I went to shock. And I guess my Brooklyn personality didn't sit well with the drill instructor out there. I was like, kind of like, we were working outside, and I was like, they killing us out here. They working us to death. Next thing I know, I see a drill sergeant off grounds. They're like, turn around. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? They're like, you refused a direct order. I'm like, I didn't refuse a direct order. You know what I mean? I was just making a joke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These dudes took me off.
You on Rikers Island before that?
Yeah, I was on Rikers. So
you was on Rikers. How was your experience on Rikers Island?
You know what's funny, man? I'll be honest with you.
We want to know about that.
I was blessed. First because day. Yeah, I was blessed. And there's a legend. God bless the dead. He's I think he's the uncle of Nems from Coney Island, Eddie Leon. Okay. And I'll tell you, you know, a lot of people came and seen me and supported me that I didn't think of. And it really did a lot for my psyche, you know what I mean? Like supporting me like that. And I was on Rikers for like maybe 5 months. I was ready because I fought the case from outside. So when I turned myself in, I thought I was going to move quick. But they, you know when your paperwork gets lost or something your first time. So I'm there in Rikers like 5 months. I'm in the 5 North and OBCC. I'm in 2 Upper over there. I'm in the 3 building. I'm in the 4 building. You know.
How was just your experience?
My experience. The crazy thing is like that's why I give a shout out to Eddie Leon because he is Spanish too. He put the word out. Motherfuckers were like, you get the phone right here, you come down and play dominoes. But the experience for me was there were so many different ones, but I really connected with a lot of people there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I learned I already knew how to move.
Right.
But it was eye-opening for me, like meaning lighting. I used to put the pencils in the outlet to light a or the headphone wire on top of the battery to light a tops. You know what I mean? Like things that I was like, yo, this fucking motherfucker's like Boy Scouts in this motherfucker. And it was fascinating to me, but there was also times where I sit back and I say to myself, damn, man, I don't know if I could ever do that again. The way I moved through it, the way I seen people get fucked up.
What's the worst things that you've seen on Rikers Island?
I mean, I seen a dude break a fan, you know what I mean, and chop, kind of slice the dude. I mean, I seen trays all over people's heads, the trays. Morning time is a lot, even phones, when people try to get people off the phone, people hit people with phones. But one of the scariest things I did was I saw a CO, and he was cool. We used to give him like the powder, the powder for the drinks.
Yeah.
And they were just trying, somebody had weed in there. I guess they were just trying to, scoop them up. But at the time, we were on the 5 North, and that had cells. But then you're out in the dorm, meaning you lock in at night, but you stay.
Dormitory. No, in
it's tiers or something like that.
In the tiers.
Yeah. So during the day,
it depends. If you're in the Excel blocks, it's tiers.
Yeah.
And if you're in the dormitory, it's in the dorm, like in the TV area.
Yeah, I've been in both, but but the one 5 North one I'm talking about is like
it's called a day room.
Yeah. So I remember like there was some cells that were still open, and people get dragged into the fucking cells and just get walloped. You know what I mean? Like and the CO would just turn his head. Like walloped. Like, I remember dudes swallowing batteries that they don't go into the Bing. You know what I mean? It's just wild stuff. You know what I mean? But one thing I will say is that I'm real proud of, and especially being a family guy. My father's grandmother, was very sick. She had Parkinson's disease at the time, and she passed away. And when I called home, and this is what's fucked up about people who are away, because what happens is you deal with the outside life. I call home, how's everything going? I find out my grandmother died. You start thinking to yourself like, damn, man, I'm in here. I can't even, So I go down and speak to the priest in Rikers. And I say, hey, is there any way possible I can see my grandmother at a funeral? They said, no, I'm Catholic. They said, nah. I went back upstairs. All the dudes were like, yo, speak to the imam. I went back downstairs, spoke to them. Now, they can't tell you when you're gonna go or when they're gonna come for you, because then you could possibly call home and say, yo, meet me there.
When you're gonna go to escape or some shit.
When I tell you, man, like 2 days later, I was just laying in my cell and I was depressed, and I knew that day was coming. I'm like, damn, this shit, the choices I made, I can't even be there. I started feeling bad for myself. Cell opens. I was like, oh shit. Whenever cell opens, I think it's like the turtles coming in and doing a search or something like that, So they say, Gibaldi, get up.
Who's the turtles, man? Explain to the audience who's the turtles.
So first of all, I'll get back to this story in a second, but I'm going to tell the turtle story. One time I'm in the day room, and I got a glove of tobacco. And my man ripped off a finger for me. I'm like, yo, hold this. I'll just take a finger. A finger means a plastic glove. They would put tobacco in it. So when they turn it up, you would buy a glove, I don't know, $50, whatever, $40, whatever it was, finger $20, meaning you just pull it off, turn it off, now you got tobacco, because people would roll up tops in Rikers. All of a sudden, I'm sitting in the day room, we're talking, and the whole, I paused, but some of the biggest dudes I ever seen in my fucking life, looking like RoboCop, came in, and literally, I took the fucking finger, paused, I put it in my fucking mouth. And I was like, and all of a sudden this dude came over, literally grabbed me by the fucking mouth. This thing went flying across the fucking room. Here's the craziest thing. I did 17 days in the fucking box for fucking tobacco. Contraband. You know what I mean? That was a tough fucking thing, man.
But at that time, tobacco was contraband?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, at that time tobacco was contraband. So back to the funeral story. So here's where I love, it was tough. Yeah, it woke me up. Yeah, there's a lot of dudes in there that I felt really bad for, especially old timers. That's why I don't judge people, because there was old timers in there that dropped mad gems on me. Even though they were crackheads, they dropped gems on me. Because some people, we look at crackheads, I get it, but what I'm saying is they've been through a lot. They could tell you the mistakes they made. And I'll tell you one thing,
It's just a disease they're dealing with.
Yeah, that whole 5 North came together. Somebody gave me a Lacoste shirt, a flight bomber, got me all right. You know what I mean? And I went downstairs. I'll never forget, man. They drove me. I haven't seen light in a while. You know, they drove me to the funeral, like, you know, and you know, but the crazy thing is I'm in there for possession, to intent to sell and possession. Yo, they had me shackled. So when I came off the funeral, they had to close the door and take it off. Like parents, my aunt came up to me. There were 3 people came with me. And they were like,
that many?
They're like, do me a favor, don't hug her so close. Because they wanted, you know what I mean? They don't know if she was handing me something. Yeah. But anyway, I'm thankful I was able to do that while I was in Rikers. But later on, the story keeps on going. You know, when I went upstate, I went to shock, I got kicked out. When you get kicked out of shock, you go in the box, 30 days, refuse a direct order. So they slapped me around in the box, like, you know, the CEOs, you know, you're not in Brooklyn anymore, you're my tax dollar, you know what I mean? It was wide open. I thought I was gonna get in shock and come home in 6 months. Now all of a sudden I'm in a box.
And you go do your whole rest of your time.
Yeah, but the crazy thing is, this is how crazy my story is. So I do 30 days in the box. At that time, I went for my hearing right from the box. Yo, they had one of those recorders that, you ever see like with the handle that you press?
The beige one, the low old ones.
Yeah, that they press the record on. And we went over, like, I don't know how they did this. We went over and they gave me another 60 days. They were like, yo, you didn't listen. You were supposed to be on the gate to get showers. You gave the COs a hard time. I'm like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. I just asked for a razor. Because, yo, to be honest with you, and this is the sad thing, is I didn't know I needed to be on the gate. So for those who don't know, meaning I needed to be right at that door, right at the cell, like the opening of the door to take a shower. You know how many times they cut me off because of that? And I was sincere, like, yo, my bad. Like, I apologize. Like, fuck you. Like, I went two weeks with no shower.
Yeah,
like, I'm telling you, man, anyone who has been in the box or in the box, if they hear this, man, my love, my heart from the bottom of it is with you. Because if I didn't have my kids, I contemplated even, why am I living? You know, I'm getting letters in there. My aunt, my niece is like, yo, you're the best uncle in the world. No, I'm not. I'm here. My daughter doesn't even know what's going on. You know, she's so young. I'm like, but I didn't know how to get my life together, Pete. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't.
Sometimes you be so young and naive on certain shit. Your thinking is not as right now. Right now, you thinking clear. You know what I mean? It just everything is a process. You have to go through that in order to be the person you are now.
Yeah, no.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we don't go through that, and then we could be turn out to be other shit. You know what I'm saying? So things like that make you more humble throughout the years. It made you more humble. It made you more appreciate your life and your family more and all that. So those are the things that you ain't get it then, but you got it now.
Yeah.
And the important is that you do have it now. You know what I'm saying? And you out. You've been doing your thing. You've been home. How long since you've been home?
18 years.
18 years. And when when they gave you the 60 days, they told you, that you was in shock, and they told you that 60 days.
So I got 90 days in the box,
Yes,
and then I got into a fight outside, like when I was walking outside to see
you. Was really out of there then.
So then they put me in there for like another 5 months. Yeah. So I did almost a year in the box.
Right.
Crazy thing is, then I wound up in Oneida, Marcy, that thing. Yo, there's like a rapist, like a pedophile type thing. There's like a whole thing. I'm like, what the fuck am I walking into? You know, like one floor is this, one floor is that. Yo, the crazy thing is too, is there was one jail I was in, you had to go through the yard for commissary. I'm like, come on, man, these motherfuckers, you gotta go through the yard. Like, I'm like, yo, you walking in there with some ice cream sandwiches, motherfuckers in the yard, like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you know, so.
But you like, what the fuck? Let me hurry up and get to my fucking cell.
Yeah, you know.
With my goodies.
But so I'm in there.
Before Pete called me.
But I'm in there. and literally, yo, there was dudes playing handball, one arm. One of the greatest handball players I ever fucking seen in my life was in jail, one arm. Okay? He was about his business playing handball.
Some guys that nice as hell.
And the crazy thing, I was losing my mind. I saw Italian dudes. Like, some dude was like, yo, this is premium, he's Italian, you know? They were like, yo, I seen Bloods that were Italian. like Luigi. And he came over, what up, what pop? I was like, what the fuck? Like, I never seen like something like that, you know what I mean? So it opened my eyes to a lot, you know, and the only thing I didn't like in jail is if I rock with you, I never wanna have to not feel comfortable. You know, when you're in jail, you could be like kind of in the yard talking with you, like, yo, P, down the next thing you know, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah. Snakes and all that.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, oh, shit, I've seen it so many times, and I was like, damn, like, how do I know that's not gonna be me? Because I get comfortable, you got pause, but you got all of me. Like, meaning like if something happens and we're in a bar or something happens to me and you, I'm walloping with you.
Yeah.
So I didn't understand that unloyalty that was in jail. Like, you know, just because people don't know what people go through every day. And, you know, they could call home and their wife could be sleeping with someone.
You know what, Pete, you know, the problem is that in prison, they don't deal with mental health correctly.
That's right.
You feel me? So mental health, they just give you pills and put you back in the cell and have you there for a month, you know what I'm saying, a week, 2 weeks, and then you come out and act up. You flush the toilet, you flush the whole shit. You tell the CEO this, you pack up a whole bunch of shit and shake it up and save it and throw it in the police face. A lot of mental health problems in prison. So a lot of these guys, you run into them. Obviously, they're living with you because you're in the same penitentiary, the same jail, same unit. You know, eventually, you know, you start talking to them, and some people just be fucked up, and them, you know, they come and turn around, cut you. They going through something. Their girl left them, or a guy thinks that you might have had looked at his pictures of his girls that was on his wall too long, you know, and you kind of lust over his girl. He feel a certain way, or anything like that. Or you bring his mail upstairs for him. Yep. Why you picking up my mail for me and all that, you know, and that could turn into, it's a lot of mental health. And all that right there leads to cuts, to stab, to punch in your face, to, you know, altercations and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just paid attention too. No, you're right, man. That's powerful too. And actually I wish and hope to see more of that in prisons. You know, just like I hope to see more of the things in schools. Like, why don't we have build your credit classes in high school? Why don't we have, you know, how to be a first-time homeowner in college? You know, if they want people to be productive members, America's like, yo, they love a second chance, but they don't, because they don't make it easy for people. You know how hard it was when I came home, and this is only 18 years ago, to find a job? How many people denied me? That's why I'm saying, look at what you're doing, look at what I'm doing in my life. Man, I'm so fucking proud of you, of myself, because, yo, I was scrubbing carpets, because my man got me a carpet cleaning job. That's the only job I could get at the time.
Yeah, because it's complicated. Can't get a job.
You got to write that you got arrested, and they judge you. You know what I mean?
What you went to jail for? And and if it sound crazy?
Yeah. But I'm saying, if you learn, like, what I'm trying to say is, when do you learn? When does the system understand that you rehabilitated, that you changed your life around? Like, who you are in your 20s ain't who you are in 40s.
I don't think they'll ever recognize. The only time they recognize is when you don't be seen.
Yeah. And you know what I'm saying?
When you don't be seen, because I only say that because when I was out here, and I used to be running around the clubs, from this club, doing the show here, that, this, that, police used to be in my face. Like, you know, hip-hop police be right there. Hey, what's up, Pete? What's up, Pistol? What's up? Hey, we here. And then I show up somewhere. Hey, we here. Now, and Kilo Rats was making a lot of noise and stuff like that. We know that KAR. That's right. When I stopped all that and I removed myself from the environment, then I used to hear, the cops, now they're saying, we seen the police up the hip-hop police niggas say, Pistol's out of here, man. He lives in Florida, family guy now. He's a great guy, man. He's moved. Because I'm not in this city no more.
Yeah.
They ain't got to worry about watching me.
And that's
they ain't got to worry. That's just
man.
the funniest shit. I'm like, what the fuck?
That's another thing we need to push. You know, I don't understand, and I'll never understand how people want you to, he don't get love in the hood. Let me tell you something. If you make it out of your hood, that's the fucking goal. Yo, let me tell you, I grew up in Brooklyn. We had crackheads outside. Fucking Janie, who was a slut on the corner. Steve, who cheated on his wife down the block. Everybody on top of fucking each other. I live in Jersey now. I don't even see my fucking neighbors. And I love it. I had crackheads outside my house. Now I got deer outside my fucking house. But what I'm saying is, I love that shit. And why is that a fucking problem? I come into New York. I come see Pistol. I'm on the dog in the yard. I got a meeting here. I got a meeting here. How you doing? I'm back fucking home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, be happy for you.
Yeah, I guess I don't like, that's the thing too. I want to tell a lot of street kids too, like, stop trying to prove to the hood. Just like I'll tell freelancers and creatives, stop trying to prove to your family. I love my mother and father. I love them. But I'm done trying to prove to them that I'm being successful. If they don't get it, you know? We're not in a day and age, like, you know, I say this a lot now. Hellman's, the mayonnaise, or Heinz, the ketchup. There's going to be a Pistol Pete noodles. There's going to be a premium Pete pie. There is. I got my own pasta sauce, you know? Yeah, Pete's premium pasta. But the point I'm trying to make is we live in that day and age where, you know, it could be a CK. It don't have to only be a Martin Scorsese. There's a lot of talented, creative people doing a lot of things, and especially in fucking prison. Let me tell you something. Dudes used to make the handkerchief joints and used to draw on them. I used to send them to my mom's for Mother's Day. This one dude made a rose out of soap. I promise you, that shit was beautiful. And I know this may sound funny, but prison has a tremendous amount of creative, talented people in there. Chefs, artists,
basketball players, football players.
I mean, just even wisdom, even wisdom. And I think that, you know, look, I'm not here to fucking say I'm not Superman. But I pray one day that there could be programs instilled to make sure people don't come back. You know what I mean?
So with that being said, you think prison reform is needed?
It's needed at a higher level. I'm talking about grassroots marketing, prison reform. Right. Like kind of big buddying people too, if they want it. Right. You know what I'm saying? Giving insight, having the access. People can't afford it. Look, when I came home from parole, you know, when you come home, you see everybody who come home, if you're from New York, right? You guys go to 30-something street over there. And, you know, the point I'm trying to make is they all went back. Yeah. I was in the elevator. I remember a lot of them like giving up, saying, yo, I look for 5 jobs. I'm going back to the streets. And I try to talk to someone, but look, how hard you want to make it for people out here? I mean, I'm saying now it's a little bit easier.
It has become easier. Yeah. It has become easier. It's still complicated, but it's easier. And the tools that's out there. So we can't, a lot of guys come home, it's just a way of thinking. If you come home thinking that you ain't going to succeed, then you ain't going to succeed. If you come home with that state of mind and you ain't going to give up and you're going to succeed, then you're going to take it somewhere, regardless if you don't get help or don't get help. This, that, it's about how you really feel. So sometimes, yeah, you do need somebody. Sometimes, yes, it is complicated when you don't have the support system like a lot of brothers do. And a lot of brothers don't. A lot of brothers been in jail, and I sat here with brothers, they ain't got not one family member, and did 30 years. They came home to the hood, this, that, that, but they made it, and they here, they doing their thing and all that. So, you know, it takes that special guy. Some people don't have that, because a lot of people, like I said, need mental help. Is fucked up. A lot of people is fucked up. Mental help it takes a tool. Even if you don't have mental health, after doing a bid and being in jail for so long, or even doing a bid period, your state of mind in regards to the way you think is you're on a whole different level. You think your thinking is not even straight.
Exactly, yo. But even think this: if they give us a parole officer when we come home, why not give them a therapist?
Exactly.
Why not give them a therapist? You know, they don't want people to succeed. Yo, anyone who comes home, they don't want you to succeed. So what I'm saying to you is take the fucking tools to succeed yourself. Yep. Surround yourself with people. If you're from New York and you know Pistol and you know so, like, ask him how he's doing, even though he's still figuring it out as well. Like, right. You know, life is not perfect. But what I'm saying is like what you say about family, man. Like, yo, I seen dudes in there 10 years, not one fucking visit. I remember this dude actually thought he was getting a visit. He dressed up. He shaved for the first time. And dude, so nobody came. And I say to myself, you know what made me get through jail? A little bit of my mind, but more so the letters, the phone calls, and the fucking visits. So if you love somebody, okay, and I know sometimes some people in jail, they seem like they're not thankful. They are. I think some of them don't know how to show it, you know? But if you accept their calls, if you go visit them, you write them a letter, I'm sitting here telling you, and I know you know this, Pistol, it does fucking wonders for people, okay? People made mistakes. They don't need to be punished forever.
That's right. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you out there and you if you out there, make sure you treat your family right. Just don't be out there hustling, doing some shit in the street and treat your family like shit. Because when you go home, the ones that you're gonna be there is your family. And if you shit on them, then you ain't gonna have nobody. You know what I'm saying? So, and with that being said, you know what I'm saying? You already know, we got Premium Pete. What's up, Premium Pete? What's up with your show and all that?
Man, so, you know, Premium Pete show. So, you know, I started podcasting back in the day. You know, early, it's funny because I started podcasting and God bless the dead, Reggie Osei, Combat Jack. You know, we did the Combat Jack show and I was so blessed to be the co-host on the Combat Jack show. But I'll tell you one thing, man. It was so early to see where the space is now. Honestly, I just feel so blessed and thankful that everyone gets an opportunity to really, you know, you see people like Nori become like a real fucking journalist, right? You know what I mean? It's like, and he's expressed, I know Tax was an influence to him that we helped come up, like the network that we built. And Combat Jack Show has influenced a lot of these shows, you know? And I just wish he was here to see it, but yeah, you know, I love sitting down with people. I love dropping gems. I love.
He said, Pete, I learned some shit from you. So, my first time sitting down and having interviews and all that, you know, you guided me through the whole vibe. You told me be easy, don't rush, take your time with the questions. You taught me the ropes and all that, man. So I'm grateful and I appreciate you.
Man. Likewise, man.
That, man. Like you came through for me and all that, man. You know, and for those that don't know Premium Pete, look at that. We got a super legendary interview on Premium Pete with me and all that.
No, that's when, you know, is everything okay? Everything okay with French? Everything
is okay with French, man. Everything is okay with French, man.
Yo, I still get comments that people say when he says, I put him to sleep, tuck him in. I was yeah.
Incredible, man. You know, but we here and we living and all that. We blessed. We got, you know, we got great kids, great family. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
I see you with your kids, man, and you know, I know they keep you going. And you know, you need that energy, you need that light. You know, and I just want to let you know, also like, you know, besides being proud of you, you know, I think a lot of us men who've been away, sometimes we don't big each other up enough to know that, look, you know, it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. And you on that marathon, you on the right path. Facts. You know, and you know, you are worthy enough no matter what happened in the past and choices that you made to give away your life. But we never give away a minute of our time to that ever again because the food ain't... I one time went back to a prison and spoke, and I want to do more of that, man, because I want to fucking tell... Like, I remember saying, like, yo, how many... Actually, I'm going to hit you with this, and then you could take it wherever you want. I got invited back to speak at a prison, and there's like 4,000 people there. It was a shock graduation. And...
Your favorite.
What?
Your favorite.
Yeah, crazy. And I literally, I'll never forget, man, I asked, how many people in here got kids? And I swear to God, like maybe 95% of them raised their fucking hands. And that shit hurt me so much because I knew, like, you know, I said, listen, you know, it's a hot summer day. Ice cream trucks coming down the block. I don't care if any of y'all have money. Because, you know, sometimes you meet people in jail, they're like, yeah, I got knocked, I got 50,000, I got 4 Mercedes. They got no money in their commissary. I don't understand it. The point I'm trying to make is focus on the real things like these kids. So I told them that. And then I was like, yo, how many people like the woman in here? How's the food? Nothing in here, like, is worth, you know what I'm saying? I take a beef patty with cheese before I go, you know what I mean? Like, that's a forever classic, you know? Like, it's like, there's nothing, even though there was a lot, even in Rikers with the 190 the hot pot and the bag and the rice, yo, honestly, I give a lot, like, those are chefs. I know it sounds crazy to say that, but the cans, dude used to take the cans.
Got the oatmeal cookies and shit with the 190. You put them shits in the 190.
Yo, one thing I really appreciated when I was upstate was if everybody came together. Like one dude had sauce, one dude had pasta, one dude had the spoons, and everybody ate. And that's how it should be in life.
Yep.
Takes a village.
Yeah, man, with that being said, man, you know, I mean, it was a pleasure having you on Dog in the Yard. You know, we had to definitely get Premium Pete, you know. It took us a while, but now that we heat up and we on our, you know what I mean, we had to get back when we was on our pro shit. You know what I'm saying? Cause fucking with Premium Pete, he on his shit. So we gotta make sure.
I'm thankful. I'm proud. Like I said a lot of times.
Appreciate having you, my brother. Man. You hear me?
And then keep it going, man. Keep it going.
You already know, man. Look out for Premium Pete Show. You already know it's a dog in the yard.
Dog in the yard with Pistol Pete.
You already know. What's up, people? It's your boy Pistol Pete. Welcome back to that dog in the yard. First and foremost, I want to thank my brother Premium Pete for coming through, breaking it down, keeping it all super real like always. Keep doing your thing, Premium Pete, you know what I'm saying? My hat, salute. You already know we here. Keep doing your thing, Premium Pete, you know what I'm saying? Stay blessed, man. You already know I'm here. We love you, dog in the yard forever, man. You already know. Premium Pete, look up that show, Premium Pete Show. I'm in there with a super, super exclusive interview, man. All right? You already know. It's your boy Pistol Pete, dog in the yard. Peace.
This that yak music. Dog in the yard. Pistol Pete. SF. And this DJ Khaled. Let's go.
I don't move unless it's bands. Diamond stars all in my rings. She don't move unless it's bands. Boy,